Um, well, so I was here when we recruited Romond, right? So I was close with his mother and his father. And then when I got the job at Temple, my wife's mother had just passed from cancer. And then I literally was at Elizabeth High School seeing PJ and Jihad, and I got the call from Romond that his mom was sick, and then was doing really poorly, and I called Miss Wanda, and I remember her just she just made me beg. She made me promise, that I would take care of him, and that I would make sure he got his degree and all that. And I remember when she passed, I remember going and getting him and getting him on a train to go home, and I remember being at the funeral, and I remember his family and just how much it affected Romond, because he was the baby of the family. And over time, just for me, I always kind of I was really hard on Romond, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? I'll suspend you for this. I was really kind of a disciplinarian, and I always justified it in my mind well, I promised her he'd get his degree. He's getting his degree. He's doing all this. This year, he and I had a moment where we just said, let's try something different, and I just really got to see him, and he got to see me, and we almost, it's kind of funny now, for two guys that were like this all the time, but we've always had a kind of a close relationship because we went through all that together, right? Now it's like he's my peer now. He meets me every morning at 7:30. I have breakfast with him when we go through the practice schedule, and he comes back at 8 o'clock, and we sit there with each other. It's probably been one of the more gratifying things in my career, because I fulfilled a promise to his mom, but really he did, right? His mom was Miss Wanda was a wonderful woman, and she would be so proud of him now. I don't know how proud the rest of his family is, but to see him just become responsible, to see him become a guy that does everything right. I'm just grateful for that, right? And for me to realize, I don't always have to be the disciplinarian. Sometimes I can just sit down and say, tell me what's going on. That's really helped me. It's really almost convicted me a little bit. I've tried to be better with that with some of the other young guys. Not wait till they're juniors to find out why they are what they're struggling with. So I don't mean to be that long, but I'm just really proud of Romond. Really proud of Romond. And I wish I would have done this a year ago, because he might have had 18 sacks last year, because all he needed was just someone to understand him and take a little bit of time with him, and now you see his talent and his ability come to fruition. So.